Yeah, hello everybody. Welcome to the Mitras and welcome to the journey of philosophy, right? It's a not philosophical journey. We are far away from philosophical journey. This is a journey for philosophy for UPSC, right? Our journey is confined only to syllabus as given by UPSC. We will not take a single step out of beyond that. Okay. One more thing, there are a lot of things I need to discuss with you. For some, this might be demo class. We have also promoted like that. Open session, free seminar, introductory. But from me, this is like your first class. Your batch begins with this class. Okay. Initially, we would be taking foundation class. Okay. And there are certain do's and don'ts we'll discuss. I'll create a base for that. So from my side, your batch begins with this class. Okay, so remove that, orientation of that demo class and free orientation, something like that, because that disturbs our seriousness. In this journey, you are going to have the highest level of conceptual clarity. Before this start, I'm committing with you, right? And maximum level of confidence in this subject as compared to other areas like GS and other areas. You will have so much of clarity and you will have so much of confidence, so much so that you will start focusing on the score and your focus will shift from rank to the score. You will attempt to have, 300 plus. Of course, we will be preparing for 300 plus. I'll make you to work hard. The entire journey is for that only. But that's not our objective. Our objective is to have rank, name in the final list. But the problem is we have so much of confidence and clarity that in a paper, you will have difficulty of choosing 5 questions out of 8 because you'll be knowing each and every question. So you have that level, in this paper, I need to have maximum highest score, 300, 320, something like that. And that orientation get changed. Okay, from rank to score. That's a huge difference. When you are focusing on rank, then I am doing balanced preparation. I'm not emotionally attached with anything. I need to have this much rank. Hence, I know I develop competitiveness. I understand what is the changing pattern. I understand that in last few years, like 4, 5, 6 years, your result is dependent on 3 areas: essay, ethics, and your optional subject. I understand when rank is in my mind. When a score is in my mind, then I start enjoying my subject, and all the time I'm doing and thinking that 300 plus lana hai. Why I'm saying this? Because some of your queries I have handled. One of you, some of you from you or some other, they call me and, I had attended those calls. Some identify and some do not identify. So few queries I received, sir, nowadays, in philosophy, we are not getting score. Achhe marks nahi aa rahe. I replied, I asked, in fact, that what you want, rank or score? He thought for 2 seconds and then he said, sir, both. Then I immediately said, कि यार score लेके क्या करेगा? Sir, with score only I will have rank. You are taking roundabout to come to that. Why don't you go to straight? Everybody knows that once you have a score, then only you will have rank. But your orientation, I'm talking about orientation. Why? Because in 265 marks last year, Divya got 28th rank. Rank 3, Ankita Jain, she got 277. This year, 79th rank, Sampada, she got 280. And I think 113 or 116, perhaps, Shambhavi, she got 290. See the rank difference? And you will also see that in 249 score, somebody is getting 400 plus something rank. So why you get emotionally attached with anything? Are you understanding my point? People say, yes, sir, 270, I got 270, I got 275. I should have got 300. But it takes hard for me to convince him that in 265, you got 28th rank. They feel ki I'm defending. I'm not defending. I'm showing you the clarity, picture. Why change your orientation? Be competitiveness. Parents ask, especially parents, that, sir, you have been in almost like 20 years and you have mentored rank 2, 3, 11, 27. I mean, that's a matter of great pride that we have such a wonderful ranks. Rank 1 is missing till now. So they ask, sir, what makes the difference? Some people crack in the same class, same subject, same level, and this and that. Some clear, some crack, and some do not. I'm answering this question only. Where the difference lies. Difference lies in competitiveness. Everybody does hard work. One who is like, giving more time to philosophy, is he not working very hard? He is. So this is a competitive world. And you need to develop that competitiveness. Okay, and that's the, I think, one major difference between successful and those who are not able to make it out. Okay, yes, I told you in the very first sentence that in this journey you are going to have the highest level of conceptual clarity, and that will be matchless. Nobody can have better concepts than you, especially in Western philosophy. Indian philosophy is like more like factual, less of concepts. Western philosophy is like more of conceptual concept rather than facts. Okay, so in this background, we have developed some strategies, some methodologies, right? And with that methodology, I'll simplify subject. And hence, as a part of simplification, this class and another 3 to 4 class I'll devote on the foundation class. I know hardly 1 or 2 candidates might be from philosophy background, but almost all are from non-philosophical background, and that won't be exaggeration that everybody is from BTech. My all toppers, invariably hardly 27 Saloni and this year Sampada. I mean, everybody is like BTech. So I know you don't have philosophy background. Hence, initially 3 to 4 class I'll take foundation class. In these foundation class, I'll create a solid base for you. I'll discuss certain do's and don'ts with respect to subject, and in between, whenever I'll get chance, certain tips and advice for your UPSC preparation. And in these foundation class, I'll discuss some basic concepts. Hardly, I think, 10, not more than 10 concepts. Those are like alphabets. Just like you have alphabets and then you have vocab and English and then all that. In the same way, these 8 to 10 concepts would work as a alphabet. So initially you might find, what is this? But gradually they will be acting as alphabets. And you will see that your entire philosophy, 75% of your syllabus will revolve around those concepts only. As and when they come, you will realize. And the best part is that these concepts are not subject specific. They are common sense concepts. They are logic based concepts. And I'll ask those questions, right? And I would be expecting answer just based on common sense. Just apply your common sense. You will get it. So what will happen in this foundation class? You will develop a kind of familiarity with the subject, right? Acquaintance, introduction to the subject. You will start liking. And at the same time, there will be tuning between you and me also. Because you need to understand that what's way and what's a style of teaching. Even without knowing, I have already committed that you are going to have the highest level of conceptual clarity, because I will enter in your mind and then I will put all those things. So in this foundation class, we will have familiarity with the subject and familiarity with your teacher or coach. In these only, I will give you a kind of big picture formation. Big picture formation, you will get to see what exactly this philosophy is. And very organically, imperceptibly, gradually, I will derive your syllabus, paper 1 and paper 2, only through these discussions only. Nothing will be done mechanically. I will not insert anything in your mind mechanical. Everything will be done organically. You just need to have a patience. Okay, so we will see that how our syllabus is being derived through general discussion. And through that discussion also, you will understand what exactly the philosophical perspective is. Why I'm saying this? Because in last few years, all your essays are based on philosophical perspectives. If you have that, you crack it. And once you crack, you know your direction. You will get marks. If you don't do that, then it's difficult to have even average marks. That's the problem with such philosophical essays. If you crack, very good marks. Extremes are there. And this is what you can see in present this year mark sheet. There is a very huge variation in essay paper. So that kind of philosophical perspective, you will be getting an understanding. Okay, this is how the things are. So big picture formation, certain do's and don'ts, certain concepts, familiarity with the subject, analysis of the syllabus. I'll do that. What exactly is happening in Western? We will have a very insightful tour into the Western without discussing a single topic. Big picture formation for Indian philosophy, philosophy of religion, and I'll try to do with socio-political also in this segment. Everything will not be done in one class. It requires 3 to 4 class, and hence I will devote these 3 to 4 class on foundation class. Then we will be starting one topic. Okay. As a part of simplification also, there are certain things which need to be clarified, right? Let us move into the second segment, next segment. And the first advice, first tip, a genuine advice will be that we all have gathered here not to become philosophers. I'll repeat this advice very frequently, I think every second, third class. Because this is what I want, that your focus, I told you that we are not having philosophical journey. Our journey towards philosophy is confined to paper 1 and paper 2 given by UPSC. You will understand, you will develop interest, but my objective is to now control your interest. Isn't it? Because if interest is developed, then you might become, something like a philosopher. वो objective नहीं है हमारा. Objective is very clear. I want a rank so that I can have first preference service. And usually first preference service is IAS, and which you will get only when you get top 70 or top 80 rank, depending upon the number of seats. If rank IAS is like till 90 and you got 91 rank, you will get second preference. which is usually IPS. And then I know that again you will be writing, and again you have to go through this torturous journey of prelims mains interview. It's a very torturous. One entire year is consumed. And you must have seen prelims paper. That's another problem. Why I'm saying? Because every year, 2, 3, 3, 4, my old students who was IPS, they come and they write again. I ask here why, and then they say, no, sir, IAS is IAS. So our objective is crystal clear that we want rank so that I can have my first preference, and that is like top 70 or top 50 or top 80. For that, you should be asking to me, sir, please tell me what I need to do. Forget about subject and forget this and that. Just tell me what I'm supposed to do. That's the orientation I want. And then I would be saying that, your best friends are syllabus, previous year questions, and your mentor. And best two tools across UPSC journey would be revisions and answer writing practice. So these are the things which I would be demanding from you. No revision, what you will write? I have seen people who have not yet studied and they join test series, especially GS test series. And they think that I will prepare along with this schedule. Man, that's a completely, you are going to mess up with your life. Okay, so understanding, revision, then automatically my hand will move. We are not supposed to become philosopher. That means that your views, your ideas, your ideology, your suggestions, there is a zero space in 75% of the syllabus where you will write your ideas. Tell me. Paper 1 is 100% thinker based. We have a specific philosopher, a specific topic. Plato, he is himself library. He himself is in system. Okay, one huge library can be maintained on that portion. But from that huge library, only one topic has been taken, and that is written in our syllabus. My world is confined only to this topic. And you will see for last 20 years that we will be discussing previous year questions after every topic. Not a single question has come beyond that, apart from that. It is their expertise that every year they ask on this topic, but in a different way, and we get stuck up. How to answer this? It is their expertise. So where is your scope of writing something on your own? Philosophy, somebody says, "Arey nahi, bahut sochna padta hai." Arey bhai, my domain, I'm going to give you a tip and advice in certain do's and don'ts. Don't think. You don't have to think. Think on essay paper. Think on philosophical perspectives, not here. Here, everything you are getting is in a ready-made form. There is a well-defined syllabus, well-structured syllabus. Everything is clearly laid down. Not a single mark question will come from beyond the syllabus. 75% of the syllabus, paper 1, that is Indian, Western, and philosophy of religion, there is a zero space for your views. And hence I say, don't attempt to become philosopher. Be competitive. You should be so focused, so competitive, that if I'm discussing some topic, you should be saying, sir, this question for last 25 years has not come. Sir, why we are devoting so much time on this? That I would be delighted and elated. Look, that's the level of orientation. This is what I'm demanding from you. Okay, so our objective is very clear. We are completely focusing on rank. Don't get emotionally attached with this. You come into the services, then you read wonderful philosophical books. I'll suggest you. They are life-changing books that will help you a lot as a civil servant. But not before that. So one tip, one advice, not to become philosopher, I won't let you to become. Second, as far as subject is concerned, philosophy is concerned, I have zero expectation from you. Nothing, no expectation. Because you are absolutely new. You are like this, tabula rasa, blank slate. Nothing is there. It is me who is going to write. I mean, this is what I presume. Okay. So whenever I ask question, I'm not demanding that answer from your something like philosophical background. You don't have. But yet I'm asking. I'm asking because you should apply your common sense. Okay. So zero expectation from you. Another way of saying same thing, third thing, that while taking up any topic, I will move without presumption. I have no supposition and biasness as vis-a-vis you. What does it mean? It means that in GS class, your GS teacher presumes that at least you must have gone through NCERTs. I'm not going to teach you what is globe and what is earth and something like that, latitude, longitude. I'm not going to teach you plus operation, minus, multiplication, division. So that's kind of presumption, okay? So this subject, while taking up, I will have no presumption of any kind. So much so that in socio-political philosophy, when I'll discuss democracy and when I'll discuss secularism, I will again presume that you are like this. I think that is sufficient to convey. Okay, so we don't have to become philosopher. No expectation from you. Yes, once I finish one chapter, then expectations, I deserve expectation. That from that chapter, whenever I ask something, you should be able to reply. If you don't reply, that means you have not revised because you have understood that I know. But you are not revising, hence you are not able to reply. I mean, that would be bad. Okay. No presumption from my side. Feel free. No problem at all. And fourth thing, I will also ask from you that don't have prior reading. Those who have done it, just keep silent in the class because majority of the people have not done anything. Because on one hand, I am saying that I'm treating you like this. On the other hand, when I ask you and you bilkul appropriately, you answer me in a technical way. So then there's a mismatch because I'm not expecting the technical answer from you. I'm expecting a common sense, a common layman answer, but you are giving me technical answer. So that will be a mismatch. Isn't it? No. So try to avoid prior reading if you have done and if you are doing. You have to be silent in the class. Because the moment you speak anything, at least I'll get to know that you have come reading after reading. Why am I avoiding prior reading? Because you might develop wrong concepts. It will take a lot of efforts to remove that. Why don't you do this, that you study here, you understand here, and then you study that. Then you study whatever you like. That way would be like more appropriate, I believe. So move along with me. Don't move in advance. Okay? Fine. Apart from like third segment, philosophy, I mean, some of you are in, will take a short, discussion regarding that, regarding subject. Philosophy is an optional. Sir, I'm confused between philosophy and this and that. Look here, all subjects are good. All optionals are good. There is no discrimination from the UPSC side. From every subject, you have rank. Every subject is good provided you get right guidance and right approach and you do right amount of work in the right direction. So it is not like that this subject is good and that subject is bad. Every subject, all optional subjects are equally good. As far as the philosophy is concerned, of course, I will talk about philosophy only because we have gathered for that only. So competitive advantages of philosophy is I think two things. I mean, many things are there, but two most important things are, it's a short syllabus. People say, कि भाई छोटा ही दिखता है ये syllabus. It seems to be, short syllabus, but it requires a lot of depth. But this formula applies to every subject. Will you not go into depth in geography? I mean, that there you will have superficial reading, and in philosophy you need required depth. Right? That's illogical. Okay, one thing, and we have already discussed that we are confined to our syllabus only. Why we'll go into depth? We will see previous year question, what kind of questions are coming. Accordingly, we'll be preparing. Second competitive advantage is that you don't have to update it with current events, current affairs. It's a static subject because your syllabus is thinker based. A particular thinker, Buddha is there, Shankaracharya is there, Mahavir Jain is there, Plato is there, Aristotle is there. So, I mean, in 75% of the syllabus, we have zero current relevance. But in socio-political philosophy, once you see those topics, you will understand that there could be some kind of correlation. But questions are not coming current based. Question will come only on that syllabus based. But if you are seeing like topics like justice, democracy, women empowerment, caste discrimination, then a lot of things are happening in and around us. You might find something relevant which you feel that I must write in this answer. You should write. But it is not like that you have to write. That is not the case. Because we are not a student of political science and sociology. We are philosophy student, and here philosophical perspective matters more rather than facts. Okay, since it is thinker based subject, I can also say that your 75% of the syllabus is very scoring, because you have to understand and you have to write that. So that makes it like very scoring. Yes, it will definitely help you in essay and ethics. I'll show you as gradually we move that you will have two kinds of benefits: tangible benefits and intangible benefits. Tangible benefits, which I can show you where you can directly feel, that will be in the form of socio-political philosophy. Because I believe that even somebody has not taken philosophy, he must read those socio-political philosophy topics and develop a philosophical perspective, so that will help you immensely in essay. No essay can be written without referring justice, the biggest notion, the highest ideal. Our entire system, political, social, economic, whatever, whichever kind system is, aspiring to realize justice. And that justice is not just through court, order. वो वाला सिर्फ वही justice नहीं है. Justice has broad dimension. And your entire government machinery, rules, regulations, institutions, your constitution is one point agenda, one point objective, and that is to ensure justice to each and everybody. Have you heard about the Antyodaya program? In GS, you must have come across. Those who have not, they will find it. Antyodaya means in this queue of life, one who is standing in the last, अंत में जो खड़ा है, उसका भी उदय होना चाहिए. He also deserves to be uplifted. Who is standing in the last? Poorest of the poor. Who is standing in the first? Ambani. So Ambani also require food, water, shelter. And the person who is standing in the last, poorest of the poor, he also require clean water, food and shelter. उसके बाद में जो मर्जी है, जिसको जैसे है करो ना यार. But these are the basic necessities of life without which I cannot survive. Your constitution is the fundamental philosophy of your constitution is this. And such perspective, such orientation is the heart and soul of your ethics paper. People write answers without have that feel, without have that orientation. How can you have marks? Approach and orientation matters a lot. Okay, so what I'm saying that your tangible benefits are in the form of socio-political philosophy. You see topics and you will understand. Intangible benefits, which I cannot prove, which perhaps you might not see directly, but definitely 100% you will have that intangible benefit in the form of philosophical orientation. Your way of seeing the things will differ. It would become different from a normal, a layman. The way in which you approach, I mean, this is like you will automatically gain. The way in which you approach, the way in which you write, the way in which you see is like definitely change. And that is what required a philosophical orientation. And this is the first thing required in your essay paper. In last few years and even otherwise. If somebody in the old pattern, if you are writing essay on women and democracy, I mean, straightforward topics, is still there. You are not supposed to write facts. You are supposed to drop that philosophical perspective. Layman, common man will see tree. Oh, it's a beautiful tree. Such a huge tree. Oh, it's so wonderful shade. I'll go there and take rest. But a philosopher will not see just tree. He will see the roots. He will see the roots. How strongly, how stable, how weak, how fragile roots are. Somebody comes to you with problem, to you as a civil servant, you make a superficial treatment. But with that philosophical orientation, you will be forced to ask him, "Are problem kya hai? Don't tell me symptoms. Issue kya hai?" An issue you will find that they are deep rooted in socioeconomic and the systematic, I mean, those issues, problems hit at that point. I'm not saying that other people will not have. I mean, the other people will also have. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about our intangible benefits. That's how the orientation get changed. Okay, so that's how our segment of philosophy vis-a-vis other optionals. In another segment, some of the myths, some of the misconceptions, some of the problems. People ask me, "Sir, I'm BTech. Can I do philosophy?" Hey, yaar, kya baat kar rahe hai? If I ask you how many of your BTech, I think only couple of people won't raise hands. Forget it. You see the toppers from philosophy. I think specifically recently I've started mentioning that all these are BTech. Many top ranks in top 100, hardly few candidates, everybody is BTech. So that issue is nullified. I mean, why you are carrying this unnecessary issue? If you are BTech, why don't you take civil engineering and electrical engineering? You won't. Because we completed our degree in 1 day and 2 days. एग्जाम से एक दिन 2 दिन पहले ही पढ़ते थे ना. You take maths, physics, isn't it? So, I mean, unnecessarily don't create such kind of things. Sir, can I do it? Or why you will not do it? Everybody has done it. Philosophy won't be hurdle. Philosophy won't create a problem. Philosophy will not be the reason for your setback. Even if you get so-called lower marks, 249, because in 249, you are seeing a rank. In 242, there is again a rank. Philosophy has done its work. Now you need to focus on other areas also, because our commitment is to have a rank. Please change your orientation. It is not like that we should work less on that. No, we should fully focus on that. And we will work for 300 plus. That's our commitment. But don't get stuck up that. Don't have that emotional attachment. This is what I'm trying to separate. Sir, I have, do philosophical bent of mind is required. What is this philosophical bent of mind? I didn't understand. Sir, in childhood, I have read Bhagavad Gita. Hence, I have taken philosophy. So I, inside I laugh, yaar, bhai, tu kya bol rahe ho? Because what you have read, what kind of philosophical bent of mind you have, that is nowhere required here. We will be moving in a very objective way. You will find it in this very first class. Everything has some system and we will follow that. Okay, so all these concerns, I don't know why still they are persisting and why still people ask this. You should be able to pick up more logical and valid criteria of choosing optional rather than these criteria which have been imposed on you by the market and by social media, who create a negative environment for something. I am also very sure that no philosophy student will say this, what I'm saying to you. Okay. That's how the, brief outing, of here and there things. I'll briefly discuss about our course plan structure, and then I'll introduce subject to you. Course plan is that this batch will be for 3 months, Monday to Friday, around 2 hours. It might be a bit less, depend upon topic. It might go more. That's like topic dependent, not time dependent. But it is not strictly that it has to be Monday to Friday and we can't have class on Saturday. I'm not saying this. I might conduct on Saturday also because of some kind of circumstances. Suppose in between we have some kind of festival, right? So I have to cover up now. I need 5 days in a week. So I need to cover up. Otherwise, my plan for 3 months would get disturbed. But usually we will have Monday to Friday. Okay. And the way in which I'll discuss, I'll have comprehensive discussion on a topic. Whatever I would be discussing, majority of the things will come on the board. I'll make flowcharts, mind maps, right? I'll write keywords. Most of the thing, at least those terms and concepts will be on the board. And there will be connection between you and the board and me. Okay, simultaneously, I would advise that you should also have running notes. You have to see, you have to understand, and you have to write also. I mean, that's your choice whether to have running notes or not. That's completely your choice. But I'll suggest personally that anywhere, wherever you go, you should have running notes. You should write whatever your teacher says. Because in future, whenever you will see that, entire class is recreated. And you have that feel, yes, I am again in that class. So after having comprehensive discussion, most of the thing will come on the board. And once that thing is done, a topic is done, then I'll dictate synopsis. Of that only what I have spoken, what I have explained, what I have written on the board, and what is written in these booklets which you might be getting or which you must have got it. From that same booklet, I'll not dictate each and everything because that will be simply sheer wastage of time, but I'll give you synopsis. That's another kind of a layer on you. Discussing, writing on the board, you are also having running notes, then same thing I'll dictate as a synopsis. Suppose 10-page chapter is there, I'll give you synopsis of 2 page of the same booklet which you have. So I believe this exercise will complete your 60% of your work. Remaining 40%, you go to home, devote 30 minutes, 40 minutes initially. Revise what we have done, consolidate it, and move along with the class. Your biggest challenge will be to move along with the class. In first week, you will not have much to study, but the moment we step into second week, we will be in full momentum, and hence your biggest challenge will be to move along with the class. Don't create backlogs. That will create problems. Every topic, every chapter is done. I will discuss last 20 years PYQs. Each and every question will I'll discuss. If question is repeated, my answer is also repeated. And you will find that in philosophy, questions are very repetitive. A single question in last 20 years has been repeated 5-6 times. So I'll speak on that question 5-6 times so that 5-6 times it settles in your mind. Once chapter is done, PYQ is done, then your homework begins. You can show me 2 answers daily. After the class, I'll sit down here and I'll see your 2 answers, not more than 2 because that won't be feasible to, increase. But 2 is done. Okay. As far as online people is concerned, they need not to worry because during discussion, even offline people are not supposed to ask because first we are understanding. So once chapter is done, if still questions are left out, we will discuss, of course. You're most welcome to ask questions. In the same way, for online people, they must be finding a portal over there. They can post their questions. You have mail, you can talk. Okay, so that's how the online system and offline system is. In this course plan, I will be first giving you, as I told you, I'll analyze syllabus. I'll give you big picture formation of each part of the syllabus. Then we will pick up some particular topic. Booklets will be provided to you. You don't have to go beyond booklets. After completion of one section, for example, we have completed Indian philosophy, I will suggest some standard textbook also. There is nothing wrong in reading them, but don't read them at the cost of your synopsis, your class discussion, and your booklets. Once they are done, once you have started writing answers, then you can see standard textbook also. That will be another level of revision. You won't find anything new. But fine, a revision, एक revision उसके through कर लेंगे, isn't it? So that's how our course structure is. If anything you want to ask, any dilemmas, I think I have told most of the things. Regarding course structure, course plan, if anybody has question, please let me know. Yeah. Yeah, test series is included in the course. So you just wait for some time. Let we finish some substantial section of this syllabus. And then I'll announce test series. That would be probably after 40 days, right? So before that, don't get worried about the test. A time will come, at appropriate time, I will devote sufficient time on discussing test, how to utilize certain do's and don'ts. I'll give you certain guidelines. And then your test series will also start. Your test series, test 1, consists of Indian philosophy topics and Western philosophy topics for balanced preparation. So first we will be doing one section, and moment we do second section, then your test will become, operational. We will discuss that. As far as usual answer writing, I have already told you that after every topic, chapter is done. For example, Plato, Aristotle, and Buddhism is done. You can show me 2 answers daily. No problem. Is that fine? Anything? These are updated booklets, and they are not available on Amazon and Flipkart. Huh? People ask me, people call me, and they say that we want postal guidance, and then we say, this much cost. Then they say, Amazon पे तो 700-500 रुपए में मिल रहा है. So who is original, you or that Amazon वाला? मैंने कहा भाई वही original है. We are pirated. So now piracy is so high that original has become pirated and pirated has become original. There's a lot of confusion. We can't help it. That's a part of the market system. Okay. And whatever updates would be there, I would be giving you supplements. Another level of update will be through your test series. Okay. Something I have to ask, something I don't have to teach. I will do those things through my test series. Once test series is done, then you are fully prepared. Let them ask anything. Okay. Anything? Feel free. Yeah. Just keep in the back of mind. You read those editorials, newspaper, magazines, not with intention of philosophy. You read with the intention of your GS and your content development. In between, if you have kept your philosophy in the back of mind, your mind will catch the appropriate things automatically. But don't do with the intention of philosophy. That will not help you. Somebody says, sir, I read daily speaking tree. I mean, क्यों पढ़ रहा है, ये जो है वो ही पढ़ लेना यार, कुछ काम नहीं आएगा वो, it won't help you. This is what is the ultimate thing. Okay. Whenever I'll ask question, I told you 2 types of questions I would be asking. One, topic which I have done from there, and second, common sense and logic based questions. In the second mode, whenever I ask common sense based, feel free to answer and don't hesitate to give wrong answer, because I want wrong answer only from you. Because if you give me a right answer in one go, I will not have scope to speak. Getting my point? If you say wrong answer, in order to rectify that, I will end up speaking a lot of things that will help you more. So don't hesitate. Give answer with the intention that I have to give wrong answer. I think that's enough confidence building. Feel free, no problem. But yes, while taking any topic, avoid asking in between. Because what you are asking, that will get resolved once chapter is completed. You just have to wait. Still some question is left out, of course, definitely, you can ask. Anything? No? Okay, fine. I think we are almost done. One last thing has been there. Every day fresh batch cannot be launched. Suppose after 10 days somebody comes. So he has 2 choices. In offline mode as well as in online mode. He has 2 choices. Either you join this batch and get the previous videos, you see them, and you move along with the class. It will take a bit time depending upon when you join. So soon you will be at par with your batch. This formula applies to offline as well as online. In online movement, after 15 days, somebody joins, he already gets the previous 14 lectures. You start with lecture 1 and move with your pace only. Don't try to jump. For offline people who joins after 15 days, we will give him access to those missed lectures. This is option 1. Option 2 is that sit down and wait for 3 months for another fresh batch. That's a logical point, no? So why to waste 3 months just sitting for the fresh batch? I think time utilization has to be there when we are using technology. So let us use it in a perfect way. Yes, if you are coming after 2 months, then of course, after 1 month, we will have fresh batch. So just wait for that. Okay, so this is how one more thing which have been left out. Still anything? No? Okay. Now let us enter into our domain and try to see what exactly philosophy is and how, with the discussion of this, you will see that how I derive your syllabus paper 1 and paper 2. 4 sections I'll derive from here only. And at the same time, you will also see what exactly you mean by philosophical perspective. From this short discussion, you had 2 direct essays. 2 direct essays. Once I discuss this, then I'll give you homework that please see last 3-4 year essay paper and bring those 2 questions where you are seeing directly from this discussion. Okay, whenever I'll get chance, I'll try to update essay, ethics, and general tips. Okay, but of course, our focus is philosophy only. Now, what is philosophy? We will never do anything mechanical. I don't want bookish and dictionary answer. वो नहीं करेंगे. Everything will be inserted in you organically, and everything will come from you in an organic way. I don't know what is philosophy, but one thing I know, that philosophy is the basis of human life. That's the basis of human life. That is the breath, heart and soul of human life. No philosophy, no human. Animals don't have philosophy. Philosophy, I don't know what exactly philosophy is, but philosophy laid down summum bonum of my life. Summum bonum, ultimate aim. What exactly I want. Eating, sleeping, talking, working, earning. I mean, are we here for this? No, yeah, it should not be. There seems to be a means for some higher end. And that higher end will tell us, courtesy philosophy. We'll be knowing by philosophy. It is the core of our life. It is the life breath. It is the life breath of our life. No philosophy, we are animals. Consciously, unconsciously, directly, indirectly, we are having philosophy. How? Very soon you will realize. Philosophy laid down the objective. I want to become IAS. Why? क्यों? कुछ तो होगा. Status, power, authority, prestige. शादी अच्छी हो जाएगी. I will have, this and that. But what are you saying? Then more questions. Then service to the society. So service to the society, is it only through IAS? Means if you IAS, then service. If you don't IAS, then no talk about service. Service करनी है ना, तो कर लो यार, कैसे भी कर लो. Of course, definitely, in a concrete way, through IAS. But not if not IAS, then does my goal change? I mean, that means if change, that means it was not your goal. That means once you get into the service, you won't do that. I don't know what is philosophy. All right. But yet my life is revolving in and around philosophy only. Philosophy has been basis of great revolutions. You pick up any revolution, you see any revolution, French Revolution, American, Russian, whichever, whatever. There is some intellectual background given by philosophers. Philosophy creates that environment. Philosophies, ideologies, values have been the basis of great revolution. Human civilization have seen that. Philosophy have been responsible for wars. Whatever war, either justified war or unjustified war. In ethics, you will be studying when war would be justified. Of course, killing is strictly prohibited. No religion, no ethics, no value tells you to kill somebody. But sometimes situation comes where you have to weigh. So there are certain guidelines. Philosophy has been basis for your system. Just now we talked about it has been basis for the system of your political system, your social system, your economic system. Isn't it? Philosophy of constitution. Can you please tell me what's a philosophy of constitution? Preamble. What is that preamble? It's not a simple document. It's a cluster of what? Values. You read again today. You see, you find out values and try to reflect, try to think that among these values, what is the biggest, highest value? And all other values are subordinate means to realize that value. Your ethics will get prepared, I tell you. Okay, so that philosophy is the basis of our system. We just given reference of Antyodaya, economic system, social system. Your religion is based on certain philosophical system. Your political system is based on certain philosophy. My family is based on certain philosophy. You are here with certain philosophic, that thing. Philosophy is our heart and soul. It's our life breath. We can't live without philosophy. Philosophy has been responsible for the birth of great civilizations, culture, religion. It has been responsible. We had great empires, great kingdoms, great civilization, cultural system, religion, and philosophy is also responsible for their end. Your philosophy got changed. Once upon a time, such a flourishing civilization, Indus Valley civilization, vanished. There are not many examples. I'm just giving you food for thought, and I'm trying to show you that what exactly philosophical perspective you mean. Philosophy is this. Philosophy tells you, either you can write here or here, the life objectives. What is philosophy? I don't know. But philosophy has been the basis of all these things. And that's the base. We built superstructure. How relevant and how vibrant and how dynamic and how value-based your philosophy is, accordingly, you will have that superstructure. Your values are poor. Superstructure will be on shaky ground. Your values are strong. You are sustainable. Philosophy of democracy is much higher, is much more vibrant and resilient than philosophy of totalitarianism. Isn't it? Okay, that's a philosophy of democracy. So democracy is sustainable. We have experimented with all forms of government. We had totalitarian, we have fascism, we have Nazism, we have socialist, we have communist, we have this, we have that. Ultimately, whole world have recognized the importance of democracy. That means its philosophy must be of that durability. Okay, but you can ask, sir, that has been, interpretation and implications of philosophy, but you have not yet told us what is philosophy. I'll still say I don't know philosophy, but one thing is certain, that philosophy begins. It begins in a symbol. And that symbol is amazing symbol. That's a life-changing. That is, philosophy begins in a series of long chain of this. That means philosophy begins in the faculty of wonder. Whenever, wherever, whoever come across with this chain of symbol, you understand that you have entered into the domain of philosophy. Whenever you like filled with curiosity, this is like questioning. Whenever you have this, what, when, how, no, it's unbelievable. You are in the philosophy world. This is amazing phenomena. It is because of this only. We have seen a journey from animal stage to human being to being humane. Because we had the capacity to raise this questioning. And when question is there, then we seek answers. We seek answers. And you will be surprised to know that this is not just seeking answers by questioning. By questioning, actually, you are seeking justification. You are seeking justification. That's how this question is so problematic. You are not supposed to raise this question, because through questions, you are seeking justification. It's not just simply question answer. It is, but not just question answer. It's like, I have seen dream. Dream, why I see? How come I see unrelated things in my mind? I never seen, I never thought about it. All of a sudden, such an entire world comes. Why, how, when, what is this? That's like questions, hence you seek answers for that. But all questions are not seeking answers, they seek justification. And if I am not able to justify, then I would be uncomfortable with your questions and then I will try to silence you. Tension de rahe ho bhai. Getting? It is this which made animal stage. Animal, we were worse than animal, you know that. We moved from animal to man, man to human being, and human being to being humane. Only this. And this is never ending journey. We are still growing. It is because of this that Socrates, have you heard his name? In his last day, judgment that day, he says, unexamined life is not worth living. If you don't allow me to use this, I will be reduced to an animal. And I don't want to lead an animal's life. Then it's better to die. And he happily drank that bowl of hemlock, bowl of poison, and died. Because it is this only that differentiates us from animal. Otherwise, what is the difference here? Are you getting? Unexamined life is not worth living. Examining life is worth living. Examining means questioning and seeking justification. So if I ask you, what do you mean by philosophy? Then what your answer is? Philosophy is that which seeks answers. Philosophy is that which searches for truth. Because by raising this question, I am searching the truth and seeking justification, and this entire process is for wisdom, not just knowledge. Question, answer, only knowledge. When I seek justification, I move towards wisdom. Wisdom use करना है भाई. That's how the philosophy is. In dictionary, in books, you will see definition of philosophy: love for knowledge, search for knowledge, search for truth, love for wisdom. That's so mechanized. Now you see. So anybody, wherever asks question, raises questioning, he is a philosopher. So a philosopher is like a childlike curiosity. He is having like, that childlike curiosity. Just as 1 year, 2 year child is curious about the things around him and is finding himself in a completely alien world, whatever he sees, whatever he confronts, he jumps over to that and tries to know. This is not developed. Mind is not developed. Then he seeks to know through his mouth. He puts everything into mouth and tries to sense is what exactly is this. A philosopher is like that child till his last moment of his life. Philosophy is that. Philosophy is that triggers your mind, that triggers your mind. What I'm doing by explaining this, I'm triggering your mind. I'm forcing you to think. I'm saying that it is this which makes us human to humane. Otherwise, we are machine. Okay, so it triggers. Philosophers say something and it triggers. People are forced to think the importance of values like freedom, equality, justice. Somebody has triggered my mind. but there will be a good force that will stop you to trigger your mind because they want to rule over you. That was the problem with the Socrates. You know what was the charge on Socrates? That your ideas pollutes youth. That is leading, pollutes to youth. That means your ideas, your questions is making youth to think. And when youth thinks, then revolution is in the pipeline. Nobody can stop. Hence, at that time, state eliminated Socrates. He is a threat. So that's how the philosophical perspective is. This is how you will see in philosophy that a single phenomena has been interpreted, analyzed in such a diversified way. It will open up your mind. And that is your intangible benefit, and that will help you in essay. Seeking justifications means, they are triggering words. Seeking justification. What does it mean? Arey, that's a simple thing. Women discrimination is there. Women are treated as inferior. They're treated as a matter of commodity. Somebody had raised one simple question, very small question. Sir, is this treating women inferior as a commodity, as an object of pleasure, is it justified? Simple question. But I'm forced to think, and now I'm searching justification. Okay, I'm seeking justification, and I'm trying to, but I'm not getting justification. And once no justification is given, then whatever thing you are practicing, there you say, since you cannot justify, this thing is right or wrong. It's wrong because you're not able to justify. Hence, gender discrimination is wrong. If this is wrong, then what is right? Well, then what ought to be? Kya hona chahiye? What ought to be? All these wonderful things are happening because of this. A word has come, what ought to be? Kya hona chahiye? So what ought to be? If gender discrimination is not justified, if caste discrimination is not justified, then what ought to be? Equality. So a value is born. What? Which value? Equality. We got to know a new value. This is how those cluster of values had developed. Equality we know. But who was the first person who got to know? Who? A philosopher. Who didn't know about equality. He simply raised and sought. When he didn't get, then he said, this is wrong. If this is wrong, then what ought to be? And hence, what is there? Gender equality. Hence, we got to know equality, and somebody had shouted, "Aure yaar, ek cheez pata kar liya bhai." I got to know there is something equality. This is how justice, liberty, empathy, compassion, tolerance, these values have been developed. We kept on raising questions, and we kept on rising in that journey. That's how the philosophical journey is. You apply this questioning across, your perspective will get changed. I am giving you important, significant tools for your essay. Philosophy में तो हमने discuss करना ही है. We are discussing only this. But since it is like that, how philosophy helps in essay, we're just trying to touch that. And the kind of essays which are coming nowadays, that's the real test of your thinking power. That's not attached with any particular subject, but that is the how I will see to what level you have logical, analytical capability of thinking. Getting? So that's how the beauty of justification is. And that's how the process of evolving values. Can I not raise, I mean, is there any area, is there any discipline where I cannot raise question? Can I raise question in maths? Yes. Algebra, botany, zoology. Can I raise? Of course. I have raised question in maths or like specifically algebra or some particular topic. I have raised question. Now I'm seeking answers. And I write answer of 100 pages. That 100 pages of my answer to that problem, to that question is published as a research paper in some mathematical journal. I have raised questions in social issues, political matters, isn't it? In philosophy. And my answers are published as research paper in some journals, PubAd journals or like philosophical journals or mathematical journals. That's how the questioning is, which is across all discipline, right? And hence the highest academic degrees, PhD, doctorate of philosophy. I need to get into the roots. I'm doing PhD in this particular topic, nanotechnology. I will get into the roots. Research karta chala jaunga. That's like my never-ending journey. Hence, this thing is across. And since it is across, I have certain fundamental questions. And sooner or later, everybody has to confront those fundamental questions. You can say, I can say, I'm not interested in maths. I am not interested in music, art, painting, and etc., political science, sociology, nothing. But there is certain domain where even if you are not interested, a time will come where you'll be forced to have interest into that. Nobody can be spared with that. You have to be. Compulsion. And these are the questions related to what exactly this world is. यार चल क्या रहा है? What exactly is happening? See where I find myself in this world, from where I have come, where I'll go. Or death is inevitable. Birth, death. यार हो क्या रहा है ये? This tree is there. This animal world, this biodiversity, this food chain, food web, environment, ozone layer. ये हुआ कैसे? Getting? I mean, these are fundamental questions. When we lose our near and dear one, we are forced to think, यार चल क्या रहा है यार ये? What exactly is happening? And during those few days, months, we become too much philosophical, isn't it? We hit at the root of the life. As days passed, we get conditioned and again get back to system, forgetting that one thing is inevitable, that is death. But we are so smart that we suppress the very idea of death. We suppress that because moment it comes, it spoils the mood. अरे mood ही खराब कर दिए. I lose my interest. But we will find one philosopher who will say, don't suppress this idea. See this idea. It will make you very dynamic. He gives one piece of advice. We will see him. That in your quality time, into your most qualitative time, spend few couple of minutes at the graveyard. Your life will get reoriented. Your life will get reprioritized. अभी जो चल रही है ना डरे वाली जिंदगी, it will get tuned with that way. Anyway, what I'm trying to say that there are certain areas where we raise questions like world, birth, death, etc., etc. Okay? We raise questions in social matters, social issues. Just now we have raised question regarding your gender inequality, gender discrimination. We raised question regarding caste discrimination. So I can raise questions regarding society, family, marriages, discrimination, inequalities, haves, have nots, etc., etc. I can raise questions into political matters. In political matters, which form of government is the best? How it is to be operated? What are the values? What is the ultimate objective? Isn't it? So there are a number of questions. And one more question I can raise: how I have to live, or how to live. For living for, यहाँ पर फिर एक नया क्वेश्चन आ जाएगा. How to live? Live for what? A new question in new series. But सवाल तो बनता है ना कि how we ought to live. हमें कैसे जीना चाहिए? We will have different views, but there has to be certain fundamental ground. We have identified these 4 areas of our questions, but as I have told you, there is not a single area where we cannot raise any. We have raised questions in algebra also. Since we can raise question, we are philosopher. A child 1 year, 2 year is very big philosopher. The only problem is ye develop nahi hai. If this would have been developed and if we could speak correctly, we would have restless days and nights, because वो ऐसे ऐसे question पूछता कि it's like mind boggling, because he finds himself in a completely alien world. But what happens to this child when he becomes 8-year, 9-year or 10-year-old child? Is he still curious? No, he is conditioned. इतने सवाल, हमेशा सवाल. So I had given 2-3 times, अरे यार पका दे यार हमेशा ही. So he understood, okay, if he asks more questions, then पढ़ जाता है. Then he understands in the back of mind, छोड़ना है यार. हाँ भाई, डायनासोर, ओ बहुत अच्छा है जी, चलो जी वीडियो गेम खेलो. He is not excited. But there are few people who are excited, who are curious till the last moment of their life. So they are philosopher till end. And hence, once upon a time, Newton was sitting in a park. He saw an apple falling down. Apple falling down, he jumped from the bench and he asked to himself, what was that? Am I dreaming? I saw something falling down. How come? It's unbelievable. He went there, he picked up apple, he threw upwards, and again, to his great surprise, he found that it again came back. Newton has gone mad. What is happening? Why things come down? No, it is not like that. It is for the first time apple has fallen down. Many people have seen, but they are not seen from the eyes of. क्योंकि उनके माइंड में ये आया ही नहीं. आया नहीं है तो भाई, यू आर कंडीशनड, चल रही है लाइफ. बट न्यूटन के माइंड में ये आ गया. And hence, Newton is having restless days and nights and he started searching the answer for it. And after days, months, and years, he came and he said, now you ask me why things come down. We asked and he said, It's a simply law of gravitation. That is the philosopher. And hence, in Western philosophy, we will find these philosophers, many philosophers have been great mathematicians, scientists. This is not work of jobless people. मैंने कहा कुछ नहीं है तो भाई तू फिलोसफी कर, ऐसा नहीं है. Isn't it? We will see great philosophers, contemporary of Newton is in our syllabus. Have you heard the name of Leibniz? You must have solved his Leibniz mathematical theorems. वो philosopher है हमारे syllabus. You must have done differential and calculus. He invented. तो इनको हल्के में नहीं लेना है, भारी भरकम लोग हैं. They are not jobless people, but they are with this mindset. I'll just wait, I'll show you. So we have, according to our convenience, we have identified these 4 areas. Now, this world, nature, environment, this system, world, solar system, this and that. I have a lot of questions like this. Earth kaise bani, kisne banai, something like that. Hence, I have questions and I will seek answers. One way of seeking answer is observation, experimentation, and verification. I will observe, I will experiment, and I will verify. And once it is done, then that will become a law, a theory, isn't it? And this is a methodology of what? Science. Hence, one discipline has been born from questioning. That means one discipline has born from philosophy. And hence, a scientist has to be philosopher. Because if scientist is not raising question, तो भाई तू कर क्या रहा है? Getting? So one way is this. Another way of finding answers is, what could be the another way? Yeah? Introspection, okay. One way is science. I will go into the laboratory and I'll see what is the smallest part of this table. I will divide it into as many parts possible and I'll reach to a point where no further division is possible. I'll pick up that, I'll put into apparatus, I'll see, oh, this is atom, proton, neutron, electron, and whatnot. And this journey has been continuous. And recently we found one more particle into that. And that is Higgs boson, God's particle. अरे तू अभी तक एटम में लगा हुआ है? We thought that issue is settled. And we were surprised कि अबे तू उसी में है अभी. That's how the science is. That's a never-ending journey. We don't know how many new things will come out from that atom. That's a science. What could be the other way of knowing these answers of these questions? Nature, day, night, ozone layer, earth, my place, birth, death, etc., etc. Yeah? Experience of what? That is coming into this. Observation, thought process, that is much better. By thinking. Or no. That's way, but हम तो खुद ही learned हैं अभी, right? It is just like this scientist working whole day 10 to 5 in his laboratory. For example, Leibniz. We have taken his example, so let us take him. Leibniz, searching. He's a physicist and mathematician, okay? So throughout day, he's doing research work in his laboratory. After 5 o'clock, office over. He comes to home, 6 o'clock. He takes shower and just relax down. And he goes with the whole day. It was so tiring. And now he just want to relax. He goes in his balcony, sit down in a very, very relaxed way with a glass of wine. 2 घूंट अंदर गई. And then he will ask, who made atom? Who made this world? Atom, what is atom? He knows. But now, थोड़ी सी गई अंदर. And then, who made science? और यार कुछ तो चल रहा है यार. There must be some unseen power. Because of his immense intelligence and immense power, he created this system just as a mechanic creates this watch. There must be a being who has done this. Hence, what he is doing now, that being is something like somebody will call, your God है यार. God ने system बना रखा है. God has created ozone layer. हमने छेद कर दिया उस. Isn't it? So he is going beyond science and he is thinking. And through thinking process, he is trying to answer this. उसने कहा यार मैं बताता हूं क्या हो रहा है. हाँ, there is one God who created this. He is the omnipotent, omniscient, this and that. किसी ने कहा वेरीफाई कर. बोले वो ये वेरिफिकेशन नहीं है, ये तो मैं फेंक रहा हूं. वेरिफिकेशन अगर करना है तो कम टुमारो मॉर्निंग एट 10 o'clock. I'll prove so many things. But now this is my not science time. This is my relaxed time. And in relaxed time, I am thinking. And it's my thought process. And through thinking, I'm trying to answer that what happens after death? Who has sent us? With what objective? Basically, what I'm trying to say that another way of seeking answer is through speculation. Correct word is speculation. Does our question justified if we say, okay, please, my dear friend, you prove speculation? Is our question right? वो तो खुद ही कह रहा है कि मैं तो स्पेकुलेट कर रहा हूं. मतलब सरल भाषा में ये क्या कर रहे हैं, ये फेंक रहे हैं. दिक्कत नहीं है. They all are doing fakeology. It's a postmodern language. I can't help it. Isn't it? They are fakeology means अरे speculating. दिए जा रहे हैं. लेकिन these people whom we are studying, they are people of so great substance and mental caliber that even in their speculation कुछ बात है. फेंक रहे हो लेकिन यार क्या जबरदस्त फेंकी है. It is like that because we are reading whom? Leibniz. And just as a mathematical theorem is solved, these people try to solve these mysteries as a mathematical theorem. Okay, let us not get into that. They tell answers of these things through speculation. And this speculation is our subject matter of paper 1. That is Western philosophy and Indian philosophy. Western and Indian. Hence, we are not concerned at all with the In paper 1, Western and Indian, right from top to bottom, each thinker, each school is doing. An other person will criticize another's speculation and will give his own speculation. Hence, we will have enriched thoughts, enriched content. Indian School of Philosophy and Western philosophy. And don't undermine this speculation. As I told you, that these people are of high mental caliber. They are not jobless people. And they are doing same thing which everybody does whenever we get surplus time. अरे यार, जब ये खाली है, when this is empty, can I speculate? But when this filled up, I'll start thinking. Western world are filled up. Hence, he's sitting with a glass of wine. It's an anecdote. Try to understand philosophical perspective. Tension नहीं है ना life में. Tension नहीं है. We people are struggling to have meal, basic necessities of life. What a glass of wine, what relax, what shower. अरे यहाँ तो लगे हुए यार. There he comes, just relax, and sitting with a glass of wine. I'm showing you the surplus time. And all inventions and discoveries, innovations happen in surplus time. We were also once upon a time ancient. I see the wonderful things in ancient India. Okay. I can comfortably put philosophy of religion also. Paper 2 here. And look, paper 2, philosophy of religion, as now you can, I'm sure you can correlate. Religion is also coming from that. So paper 2, philosophy of religion, is a byproduct of paper 1. It's a very less, it's a 10 topics are there. But since it is a byproduct of this, more paper 1 is cleared, better we have understanding of philosophy of religion. Hence, we will be devoting sufficient time on paper 1, thinking that I'm also doing philosophy of religion. Some of the topics will be done along with this. Once we pick up, then I just need to remind you, look, these topics we have already done. Hence, maximum time will be consumed here. And here I will just require 8 to 10 classes, because I have already given a lot of, more than sufficient time on this. So they are not separate, they are integrated thing. Okay, 75% of the syllabus and 75% of your time will be on this. I hope you have understood what will happen here. And they have a strict divide. We are not concerned with science. We are concerned with speculation. We have term for it. We will discuss at appropriate time. Don't get stuck up in the terminologies. Forget it. Because the moment you go outside the class, many people will ask you, "Acha, philosophy ka, acha, bata ye kya hai?" He will not be from philosophy background, I tell you. He has heard from here and there, and is just there to depress you. I have not yet discussed, okay? But in a way, I'm discussing only those things. Just have patience, everything you'll understand. Okay, so social issues. What is family, society, marriage, divorce, this, that. Hence, social issues, we discuss all these things, what is in a sociology. But we are not sociology students. Same questions we will raise, what ought to be. Same set of questions when factually answered, sociology, and when we say what ought to be, then that becomes what? Socio-philosophy. In sociology also there are thinkers. Okay, so thinkers philosophizing, hence socio-philosophy. In the same way, in political system, we are studying what is government, what is democracy, what are the features, what is separation of power, this and that. Hence, that discipline becomes political science. But what ought to be, what government ought to, how government ought to rule, what ought to realize, what is the ultimate objective of your system, moment we put ought, this becomes political philosophy. This becomes political philosophy. Hence, your paper 2 first part, socio-political philosophy. This is what we have here. This is paper 2, socio-political philosophy. This is how your paper 1 and paper 2 is. I hope you are appreciating that how gradually we have taken out our syllabus from this. And from this section, some of the essay topics have been discussed. Okay, you just see last 3-4 year essay paper and try to identify which particular topics you can correlate with this discussion. Okay, so we have paper 1 that is completely speculative. Hence, there should not be any thought in our mind that यार what this philosopher is saying, क्या कुछ भी, अरे भाई वो दूसरे लेवल के इंसान है, don't undermine him, try to understand, and you will have, once you have understanding, which you will have in one go, you will appreciate, you will love, you will see your how this thing has been beautifully explained. Same thing. Fundamental question is, with all these philosophers, is fundamental question is, अबे चल क्या रहा है यहाँ? They are answering this. What exactly is going around? They're answering to this basic question, fundamental question. Hence, we have what ought to be here in social and political. Hence, we have socio-political philosophy. Okay. How to live? ये भी question है, isn't it? How we ought to live? We are living for what? Another question. Eating, drinking, sleeping, talking, working, earning. These are the activities of life. अरे भाई चाहिए क्या? What exactly you want? IAS बनना है, फिर IAS बन गया IAS. Then what next? Your पैसा हो जाना चाहिए, huge money. Then what next? मिल गया. Just imagine you got huge money. Then what? अरे भाई कुछ होगा ना एक चीज. These are again questions, not set answers, but yes, question is there. So the issue is how we ought to live. हमें कैसे जीना चाहिए? Hence, here there is a birth of your moral philosophy. Which you can say your GS paper 4, ethics, integrity, and aptitude. And if you infuse social and political here, then I can comfortably say that your socio-political philosophy is the heart and soul of this. Okay. Here, again, the entire thing is for your, to change your perspective. In paper 4, you just implant this term ought. Perhaps you will get answer that what should be my approach in this paper. During the classes, perhaps at 1 or 2 places, I'll get an opportunity to speak more on paper 4 ethics. There I'll give you certain fundamental things that will help you a lot. Okay, so this is how we have the system. And with this background, now we will take second concrete step in next class, because now we have background. We are seeing, okay, this is the, our subject is. And now we will slightly get into the subject with certain understanding and discussion of concepts, basic concepts. And along with that, first I will analyze each syllabus, okay? And then we will pick up one particular section. So in another 3-4 classes, we will be continuing with the foundation classes, and then we will start. Okay, so fine, let us wind up for the day. Tomorrow we'll continue. Tomorrow is Sunday, but shuru karte hi chutti le lein to, I mean, that's a very illogical thing. Okay, so we'll continue tomorrow, and I think your time is 11:15 perhaps. Yeah, 11:15, because of the some clash timing is there. So tomorrow at 11:15 we'll continue. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Fundamental difference is this, because once you put what ought to be, you are made to think, you seek justification, and that automatically become value based. So moment you put values, then that flair of that subject becomes philosophical. Of course, and hence you have political thinkers, you have sociological thinkers, same thinkers. What we study here, you will find many thinkers common in sociology and in political science. लेकिन यहाँ पर same philosopher like Locke, like Kant, उनका orientation क्या है ना, market में गिराना है, it is like that. चलिए then, okay, thank you.